Okay guys, this week we looked at the three different types of circuits: a series circuit, a parallel circuit, and a series parallel circuit. And we learned to analyze those circuits using what I call a REAP table. We made a table so we can measure the resistance, the current, the voltage, and the power at each point, each load point within the circuit, as well as looking at the total circuit overall. Our circuit schematic for Lab 8 included the series and the parallel circuit. Looked very similar to this. And in Lab 9, we added a resistor to our parallel circuit and turned it into a series parallel circuit. So now I'm going to take this analysis and put it into TinkerCAD and review what we did this past week as we proved Kirchhoff's laws. Remember that in a series circuit, there's only one pathway, and Kirchhoff says because there's one pathway, our current is a constant value throughout this circuit. So current remained constant in our series circuit, and because of that, voltage was summative. The sum of the voltage drops proportionate to the amount of resistance equaled the total voltage applied. So in here, we had 12 volts. And we saw that proportionally those 12 volts were distributed between resistor 1 and resistor 2. The larger resistor, the 330 ohm resistor, saw a greater voltage drop than the smaller resistor, the 120 ohm resistor. Conversely, when we looked at the parallel circuit, Kirchhoff says that in parallel, voltage is a constant value and the current splits up. It makes sense if you think about this in terms of current distribution. And as we examine this, we have two node points here where the circuit splits. The circuit splits and the current is proportionately distributed by the amount of resistance. The path of least resistance gets the greatest current. So the 120 ohm resistor saw the higher current value compared to the 330 ohm resistor. And then when those nodes come back together, it continues as the total current value. So we analyzed that. We saw it in relationship to total circuit resistance. And then when we combine the two together, we have attributes of both a parallel circuit as well as a series circuit. And again, with a node split, you saw the total current split up proportionately and distribute more current through the smaller resistor and compared to the larger resistor, and that node comes back together. We were able to prove that the total circuit current passes through resistor 3, the 22 ohm resistor. We documented that result on a REAP table. I actually asked you to use the Word document looking like this. And so our top table was for our series circuit, our middle table was for our parallel circuit, and we used the bottom table for our series parallel circuit. It's this document that I'm going to need you to turn in to me along with the lab report. Let me take you over to TinkerCAD and show you what we've got set up over here in TinkerCAD. Okay, so all three circuits are assembled here. I'm going to zoom in on them one by one. Taking a look at the series circuit here, we have our power source. It is wired into the negative bus line. Going through the negative bus line, we have one wire coming off of that. That goes into this ammeter right here. And then after coming out of the ammeter, we go through a resistor. This wire and this wire, the blue wires that I use throughout this lab here, are linked to a voltmeter down here. Through that resistor on this green wire, I come over to the other second ammeter, and then through that resistor and back to my positive bus line and returning back to source. So I have one pathway to flow on. When I start this simulation, we are able to prove our calculated values that we saw this week. We have a 12-volt source using Ohm's law. We look at our total resistance of 450 ohms. We're able to see the 26.7 milliamps that we calculated right here as our total circuit current. And we're able to prove Kirchhoff's law that current is a constant value throughout by running that current through each of these meters. Also, we're able to prove Kirchhoff's law that voltage is additive in a series circuit. Look at resistor 1. The smaller resistor sees the smaller load drop. The bigger resistor sees the bigger load drop. You take 3.2 volts, add it to 8.8 volts, and you have the total source voltage of 12 volts. We're able to prove Kirchhoff's law for series circuits. Now when we examine the parallel circuit had a 9-volt source. So here we are at our 9-volt source on our power supply. That 9-volt source through our negative bus line comes down this bus line. It is distributed out to 2 resistors. These 2 resistors, resistor 1 are 120 ohm, and then up here across this to second resistor, resistor 2 is the 330 ohm. You're able to prove Kirchhoff's law and see that this voltmeter is 9 volts and this voltmeter is 9 volts. As Kirchhoff said, in parallel, the voltage is a constant value throughout. We're able to also prove Kirchhoff's law that in parallel, the current is distributed proportionately to the resistance. And so you see the path of least resistance gets the most current, the 75 milliamps, and the path of most resistance, the 330 ohm, gets a 27.3 milliamp value. If you were to add these 2 branch currents together, as they come back down here to our source bus and come back, you have the total current of 102 milliamps. So again, we are able to prove Kirchhoff's law. So finally, our last circuit is a combination of the 2. We have a parallel circuit combined with a series circuit. We've added a 3rd resistor. That 3rd resistor, the series resistor, is a 22 ohm resistor. Up top here, we have our 120 ohm resistor that is parallel to our 330 ohm resistor. So this is resistor 1, this is resistor 2, and this is resistor 3. Looking at a 9-volt source coming out on our negative bus line. Our negative bus line distributes power to our parallel resistors. So coming up here, we have one branch on our 330, and we have our second branch on our 120. Those branches each go through an ammeter to measure their branch current. And so you see that right here. And then they come back to a common node I'll call node B. If this is node A, this is node B, this will be node C. Going in a combined, coming back together, the current passes through our series resistor and then back on the positive line and back to the source. We're able to again prove Kirchhoff's law and all the calculations that we made in class this week, which are also illustrated for you later in a video. You are able to see that our total 9 volts is distributed between the parallel branch and the series dropping resistor. The series dropping resistor, which gets all of the current, like Kirchhoff said, it has a 1.8 voltage drop. If you subtract 1.8 from 9 volts, the remainder of the voltage is 7.2, and we do see that is distributed over the parallel branch here. Remember, when we are analyzing and solving for this, we have to create R equivalent, combine the 2 together, and solve it kind of like it was a series circuit. And then we split it back up. So here's our 7.2 volts. We are able to prove that the current splits up. So our 81.8 milliamp total current, when it hits the branch split, proportionately splits, and the path of least resistance gets the most current. So that is our top resistor up here, our 120, R1 sees 60.0 milliamps, and our 330 sees 21.8 milliamps. The current splits. If you were to add these 2 together, you still equal 81.8. So that current split proportionally based on the amount of resistance, and then comes back together to our source. And so again, here at our source, we see the 81.8 equals the 81.8 that we've measured in our circuit. So both series, parallel, and series parallel combinations were able to prove Kirchhoff's law. The basic gist here of Kirchhoff's law is that in a parallel circuit, voltage is a constant value distributed over each branch. That is, each branch voltage is the same as the source voltage, and the current in that parallel circuit is split proportionately by the branch resistances. On a series circuit, it is the exact opposite. Current is the constant value, and voltage is split proportionately over each load resistance. When we put a combination of series and parallel circuits together, you combine both attributes of Kirchhoff's law, and the series portion follows the series attributes of constant current, or total current in this case here, and the parallel portions follow the attribute of constant voltage. Because it is a combination, when we simplified this circuit, we simplified it down to an equivalent load block for parallel, and that was mated in series with our R3 resistor here. And as such, we see the load drops for each. This is the load drop or voltage drop for the parallel block. This is the voltage drop for the series dropping resistor. Hopefully this, along with our other video and what we did in the lab, clarify Kirchhoff's law and the application of Ohm's law. Hopefully we get a better understanding of what we're doing with electronics. Thanks.